Is basmati rice low GI? What do you think? Is basmati rice a low glycemic index, a low GI food? Many people seem to think so, but is it really so? In this short video, I shall tackle this very common question. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Chan. I'm a medical doctor from Singapore. Welcome to the Daily Dose. In this episode, let's tackle this question. Is basmati rice low GI? Or more specifically, are all basmati rice low GI? I will not be tackling, not in this video, all these other questions and aspects of basmati rice that most people would also ask. Let's start with looking up the GI of basmati rice. And we can see that it is a range, mainly in the low 50s to 60s. That is also another thing that many people usually do not know or may not realize, which is the GI of a food can vary depending on where it is produced, how it is processed or prepared. So unless a food is specifically defined or tested at a GI testing lab and has its GI specifically measured, we will not be able to give or assume a specific GI number to any food. For example, this basmati rice that I got from a supermarket here in Singapore. The GI of this specific basmati rice from this particular brand is 51. How did I know that? Because the information was on the packaging. Food products can display a low GI label or a specific GI value or a GI number on its packaging only if it had been sent to a lab and tested and have its GI measured and given a specific GI value. And if the tested GI value is 55 and below, the product then qualifies for a low GI label to be displayed on its packaging. So, if the basmati rice that you bought does not have any specific GI number on its packaging, you cannot assume that the GI of the basmati rice that you have is also the same as the one that I have here, which is 51. You cannot even assume that the basmati rice that you have is low GI if there's no GI value or label on the packaging. You can only assume that the GI value of the basmati rice that you have may fall somewhere within the range of GI values of all the different basmati rice ever tested and has its GI values published. My go-to place online to look for GI information of foods is to go to the International Glycemic Index database website maintained by the University of Sydney in Australia. It has the largest, most updated database of GI values of almost every food product ever tested from all the different labs from around the world. So from my search just now, you could see that basmati rice have GI values ranging from the low 50s to the 60s, which if we go by the conventional low, medium, high GI classification, basmati rice would fall in the low to medium GI categories. So what does this mean? Why then do most people generally say that basmati rice is low GI? Let me put it this way. It is wrong to say that all basmati rice is low GI. But we can say that basmati rice in general falls in the lower range of GI when compared to all the other different types of rice. That is because the GI value of rice, the many different types of rice can range from the 40s to more than 100. So basmati rice with its GI ranging in the low 50s to 60s is lower in GI than most rice in general. For those of you who are not familiar with the concept of GI, how it is measured, how it is classified, I have done a detailed video on this. I shall put the link in the description. I hope this answers the questions of whether basmati rice is low GI. In conclusion, we can say this. Number one, not all basmati rice fall in the low GI category. Number two, basmati rice, depending on the specific source and processing, can have a GI that falls somewhere in the low 50s to 60s range. That is in the low to medium GI classification. Lastly, despite saying that not all basmati rice qualifies to be classified as low GI, we can still say that basmati rice in general is lower in GI than most, but not necessarily all, other types of rice. And also, other than rice, there are many other foods that we could choose that are lower in GI than most rice, including basmati rice. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. And here, I think many of you might also ask these two follow-up questions. Number one, does it mean that compared to other types of rice, basmati rice would not spike blood glucose as much? And number two, is basmati rice good for people with diabetes? I have done a few other videos that are relevant to these questions, although not specifically. If you are interested, suggest you go watch these videos later. I shall put the links in the description as well. Also, I think some of you watching this might complain that I spent so much time to cover in such detail this simple and seemingly straightforward question of whether basmati rice is low GI or not. And you'll be saying, Doctor, why can't you just tell me yes or no? I can only say that when it comes to learning about food choices that will impact our health, it is worthwhile and important to spend a little bit more time to clarify misconceptions, learn the topic in enough detail to understand and appreciate the nuances to be able to make the best informed food choices. That's all I shall cover in this video. I hope you have found it useful. Thank you for watching this episode of the Daily Dose. I am Dr. Chan. Let habits be by medicine. Let's unlock the power of a healthy lifestyle and eating habits as medicine. One dose, one habit at a time.